Last night, episodes 7 and 8 of The Last Dance debuted on ESPN, and I'll remind you, you can watch all 8 episodes on the ESPN app. And one of the most interesting topics that came from the episode, the 96 finals, Jordan leading the Bulls to their 4th championship over the Sonics. There were a lot of great moments in it last night, and Jalen Rose is with me here, and RJ will join us in a few minutes. That's Richard Jefferson. But when we look at what we saw from Michael Jordan last night and the extraordinary moments in which he described his burning competitiveness and the way that maybe sometimes he wasn't easy on his teammates, but he never demanded anything of anyone he wasn't willing to do himself. Is that a mentality that we still see, do you think, Jalen, amongst players in the NBA today?
I think that mentality still exists, the thirst for being as great as you can possibly be, making the necessary sacrifices, having a level of discipline. Like I've said, today's current athlete, they have more skill than any history, any era of basketball. I always like to compare athletes prior to 2000 in theory, they worked out. These athletes train. It's 24/7, 365 in order to be amongst the all-time greats. And we see some people pushing that envelope. But how did Michael Jordan get here, Greeny? Just think about something. The teams that he went against in the 80s, the Lakers had more talent and they had Hall of Fame coaching. The Celtics had more talent, in particular multiple Hall of Famers. The Pistons had more talent and they were a lot tougher. So he knew in order for his team to get to that position, they would have to embody both. And this wasn't about their life skills, because every time you see MJ, he got a cigar, he enjoyed the nightlife, he went to the casino, he was a maniacal gambler, he was competitive at everything he did. But when we stepped on that floor, that's when I'm going to challenge you, because this organization has never won a championship. Our head coach has never won a championship. So now he has to be the leader on each of those levels. It's almost like when you pick a college. When I go to Alabama, who's the leader of their program? Nick Saban. So if I'm their best player, I could be Tua. I could still be a great quarterback. But at some point, I could relinquish that leadership over to him and not make the other guys always mad at me when I'm trying to get them up to my level. And that's so many reasons. That's one of the reasons why a lot of great players have not been great coaches.
It's an interesting way of looking at it. Of course, you played for one of the greatest in Larry Bird. Here's one of our guys. Richard Jefferson gets up with us early this morning. RJ, thank you for doing this. There's something else I want to get to with you guys here, but quickly, what were your biggest takeaways from Last Dance last night and as you've watched over the course of these weeks?
Well, Jalen said everything that I really could say. My biggest thing is that when you look at MJ and when you look at how he approached the game, he approached it with one mindset. He would make up things. He would create things to get himself going. And everyone knew that. The NBA knew that. There was a fear that went from his teammates to his players. And I love it. My favorite quote is, "No one's ever been coddled to greatness." And so that's what I took from that. MJ wasn't going to coddle anybody. He was going to test the coaches, the GMs, down to the 15th player. If you want to be a part of this, you have to be able to pull your weight.
I'm not one who likes, because this has all begun, to compare everything, making Michael against LeBron. But you played with LeBron James. You were one of those teammates that we're talking about. So I guess I feel like I should ask you, is there a similarity there in the way LeBron, as the best player and the leader, would lead a team? Do you see a similarity there?
I'll say this, what people don't know, and a lot of players from my generation that played against Michael Jordan at the Michael Jordan camps, that played with him in his comeback years. One thing that Michael Jordan was great at, it was camaraderie. Yes, he would take you out, he would have dinners with you, he would hang out, he would tell stories. That is a similarity that LeBron James has. Does LeBron have that same focus in practice? When it comes to preparation, yes, but the NBA had changed, so there's not, I'm going to beat you down and play against you every single day in practice and prove to you and make you get on my level. But as far as prep and mental focus, yes. As far as bringing people together and teammates and understanding that we're going to go on this journey together, so I need to be able to get on you at the most intense moments, there were similarities in that.